Alrighty, what is good, everybody? I hope you're having yourselves a lovely day. This is going to be recorded a little bit differently, but honestly, I like this way of having like the microphone closer to my face just because it feels more personal. Today's video is going to be a different one just because my editing software, like the computer I'm using, literally the screen cracked. I think my fat ass just like sat on it or some shit. So it's going to be the top 5 drugs that I do not want to fuck with at all anymore. And like I haven't done any of these, I think, in like a long time. I'm pretty sure all the ones on this list I actually haven't done in a long time, except for the first one that I'm about to list, just because like it's not an extremely hard drug. It's just if you do it in excess amounts, you literally go insane. First one is gonna be DPH, aka Benadryl. This was by far one of the worst fucking drugs I've ever tried on the face of the fucking planet, bro. On God, like don't ever touch this shit. It is literally like spider central, and I mean that quite literally. You start hallucinating actual like arachnids. The actual like it's a symptom of a lot of different allergy medications, but Benadryl is one of the main ones that gives you these like hallucinations just because like it's the one that helps you fall asleep the most, which makes you like drowsy and more like perceptually like apt for hallucinations. So it's bad territory. Stay the fuck away from it. Number two is gonna be Xanax, and Xanax is definitely, I'm sure y'all were thinking it's gonna be on this list, but Xanax fucked me up pretty bad. It made my fucking speech way slower, made the way that I interact with the world way slower, and like permanently. I didn't know that was an effect that anything GABAergic could have, but apparently alcoholics go through this, and like a couple other types of addicts go through this, where it's like you literally basically lobotomize yourself almost, not like completely. Obviously, like there's a lot of ways to um, get yourself back to normal ish, but you never get fully back to normal. Zans fucked me up, and luckily I didn't get to the point of being physically addicted to them. Just because if I was, I could have fucking died from seizures and shit. Which I'm gonna talk about in another one of these drugs. Is actually like the number one. So fuck Xanax. It's not even fun. You don't even get a euphoria. You just act like a retard. Molly, bro. Molly's one of the worst chemicals on the face of the fucking planet, bro. And I don't care what anybody says. Like, I've been seeing that one picture about, like, yes, you are all wrong. And it's the dude looking at, like, the mass amount of people that just, like, have that one opinion. And it's like, what's that opinion you'll stand by, like, no matter what? Bro, fuck Molly. On God, fuck Molly. That shit made me so unstable for so fucking long, and I still, to be real, don't even know if my serotonin receptors are okay. And I've only done it twice. I did it like a fucking lot one time, and like it just, I think, permanently kind of rewired my brain, and like not in a good way. Like I don't really. I experience a lot more just like random spikes of complete existential depression that like have no like actual sense behind them. So I know that it's like a chemical thing, and it's not like I don't feel like I'm getting nowhere in those moments. Like it's strictly just like I feel just out of it, and that's yeah, that's exactly that's Molly, bro. So, and that's like I haven't done it in like 2 years, 3 years. It's been a fucking long time, bro. Don't do it unless like your doctor says you should, and even then, I don't even like I all those studies are weird, bro. That's the thing that I'm coming to learn. Even the ones about like psychedelics and shit, everything is so fucking discombobulated. I don't know what to believe no more. Don't do Molly. I'd say that. Number two is going to go to. So I'm editing this video after the fact, trying to look up what the fuck Lark is, and apparently I was vaping skin products. Lark is apparently a actual like moisturizer or some shit. I'll throw up a picture right now. This shit is insane. Lark. And Lark is one of the craziest fucking alt cannabinoids that exists. And I don't know if it's still around anymore. I don't know if it got maybe like renamed to something, because like this one people straight fucking die off of. This is like it's like a new version of spice that like I remember a bunch of my old friends were like fucking with back in like 2020 or like 2021, and I don't even know if it's still around. I haven't seen anybody with any Lark bottles or anything like that. Literally the way that you would do it was you would put it in like a jewel pod, So like it would get you like way fucking higher than regular weed, and it didn't have any terps in it. It was literally just the like chemical, and on top of that, like it was extremely common to have seizures. Like I remember the first night that I even tried it, my friend literally like did it right in front of me. He took like three, basically like all like they weren't blinkers because it was a fucking jewel, but he took like three pretty fucking sizable rips, and then he just like sits back and just like sits there, just nodded out for like 2 minutes, and like we were all just like sitting there chilling because like for some reason it didn't think to me like, what if he's meeting his fucking dead relatives right now? What if he just died right in fucking front of me? Type shit. For some reason, the first night that I did it, he like did that, and then he like kind of just like rose up and he was like, huh, I just had a fucking seizure, and I was like, why do you sound like you sound like you're having fun? What did what the fuck? Why do you sound like you're having fun? And he was just like, I'm just high as shit. I don't know. And I was like, let me try it. Because like the thing is that I just for some reason felt like the amount that he did kind of justified the fact that he got those seizures. So I was like, maybe if I take like a rip or like a rip and a half, I won't feel, I won't seize out. And so I took like a rip and like another like half a rip. And then I kind of just sat there, and it was like, I felt like I was like coming out of my fucking skin. I was literally just like, I remember I was like staring at the fucking wall, just like this, just like jaw locked pretty much. Like I couldn't really like talk or anything. It was really fucking weird. And like afterwards it got to the point where my tolerance literally like I started doing this shit kind of regularly. Like basically I was hanging out with these fools pretty much like all the time, so they had it, I was doing it regularly. So like my tolerance eventually got to the point where I was doing like baseball with this shit. Like literally like we would basically like take like three rips, hold it in, and then give it to the person next to us and like wait until, bro, it was some degenerate shit. I don't that was like, and that was with like terrible like fucking research chemical cannabinoids that like everybody was just seizing on. I honestly don't know how the fuck I'm alive from that. But that's number two. Number one is gonna go to gabapentin. Gabapentin is probably the worst one out of this entire fucking list, bro. Like it makes, for one, the actual high makes you feel like you're on top of the fucking world, bro. That's like the worst. Like because it's literally weed plus opiates plus Xans. Name something that like downer people, like people that like downer drugs specifically, will like more than like gabapentin, especially when mixed with other drugs, which is like what most addicts do with gabapentin. Name something bad. Like, dude, the actual dose that I was on was out of this fucking world. I was sitting there 300 milligrams 3 times a day just to start, bro. When my tolerance got up there, it was 600 3 times a day. 600 4 times a day was like the peak. That's absurd. That's like you're zonkered all day, every day. And like you wake up in a fucking like cold sweat because your nerves are literally like firing on all cylinders just because you're like looking for a fix. And like the thing is that it can go one of two ways. You either go full blown manic and you either like, or you take the pill, or you go full blown manic and you're like, fuck this. I'm gonna like stay the fuck off this med, bro, because it's like fucking me up. And I went on that cycle for, I'm not kidding you, like 4 months with this shit. And like gabapentin is one of the ones that you don't really stay on for years, bro. It's kind of like meth. It kind of just like your life deteriorates like fucking quick. And it's weird because you don't even realize it. It's not like meth where you're selling everything. It's not like meth where like your family's going crazy. Literally what's going on is your head, you feel your brain cells just ticking away. It's like Minecraft when your fucking hearts are going down like half by like, like it's literally just your brain is just by the day just dying, bro. And like eventually once you finally do get off of it after like tapering and everything, bro, the withdrawal is a bad acid trip for a fucking week straight. A week straight, bro. no break, no nothing. And honestly, at night it gets way worse just because you're hallucinating way more. Like I've thought about making an entire fucking series about my gabapentin withdrawal just because like it was kind of like vivid how much I remember it, and I have like hella story times from it. So like, if y'all want that shit, leave a comment or something, bro. Those are my worst drugs. Like gabapentin was probably the worst one because like straight up during that withdrawal, the first day that I like tried to really get off of it before I like decided to taper was hell on earth. I had a full blown fucking seizure. I've never had a seizure before in my fucking life. Didn't know what that was like. I didn't know that astral projecting was a real thing. Like, until that point. Like, I always thought that, like, astral projecting was like, oh, you just go, like, someplace in your head or, like, whatever. But, like, the fuck? Like, you see shit so differently. Like, once you're actually, like, poof. Gone. You know what I'm saying? Stay away from all these drugs. I haven't done any of like the top tier like crackhead level drugs. Obviously I crack, but like I've never done that. So like I don't have any experience with those to say don't do them. Those are my worst drugs or whatever. These are my worst drugs. So yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed. Stay away from them. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new. Hit the notification bell on that YouTuber stuff. I'm gonna try and get back to long form content ASAP, bro. So, yeah, love you. Peace. Serious shit, no playing, ho. Serious shit, no playing, ho. Digging over kilos, I know motherfucking Poetic. Digging over kilos, I know motherfucking Poetic. Digging over kilos, I know motherfucking Poetic.